All right, we are back, people. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. So, I'm pretty sure those of you have seen it on Twitter, but if you haven't seen it on Twitter, it is official breaking news. Sony has officially shut down the Horizon MMO from Guerrilla Games, made in conjunction with NC Software. From what I gathered, this is like a third-party collaboration where it was kind of like similar to the Lego type of thing they were doing, making an MMO. That's what they were going for. I can't, maybe one of you guys can correct me in the comment section, but I'm pretty sure there was another Horizon game that was talked about aside from this that was, supposed to be our co-op game. I don't think that one was canceled, but again, if it is, then okay, that's another game in the midst of everything, in the midst of this chaos that is PlayStation, that is no longer coming out, and that's another game that is not in the pocket of PlayStation gamers who have invested over $1,000 into this ecosystem already, and we're 5 years into this generation, and we still haven't seen a crazy return on your investment since buying this, and I guarantee you, most of you diehards probably went and bought that PlayStation 5 Pro. Most of you, those of you that are very, that like to be on social media, you guys went and bought that Pro. So now you don't have anything to really show off on it. Yeah, it's nasty work, ladies and gentlemen. Now, to be fair, 2025, I already said this in my last video, but I'm going to go ahead and say this again because, some people are a little slow or just ignorant when it comes to hearing what needs to be heard. So let me go ahead and say this real quick. We do have some games for 2025 coming out of the PlayStation camp. You got Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotai, which we don't have the release date, but we know it's coming out in 2025. They confirmed that. We also got The Midnight Walk, Ballad of Antara, and that's about it, if I remember correctly. So you got some games coming now for PlayStation 5 slated for 2025. You just don't have the actual release date of other titles. Like, for example, Wolverine. A lot of people are saying Wolverine is 2025, but y'all got to remember Wolverine's entire source code, entire project was leaked online, or was hacked, and then it was leaked online, and people are actually playing that demo and everything, or playing the full game, or what is the full game that they have access to on PC right now. A lot of people have already played and experienced it for what it was. Not the finished product, of course, but again, Insomnia Games has a lot of weight on their shoulders. It's not fair to Insomnia Games to have to flat out bail Sony out again and kill themselves to make this game all over again to shock everybody. But that's another topic for another day. I know a lot of people might be saying, well, what about Intergalactic? Well, Intergalactic, we didn't really have a time frame in regards to when it was going to be released. We just got a big reveal. Game does look interesting, for sure, but that's about it. They didn't really give us a release date or anything. They just showed it off, saying, hey, listen, this is what we got coming out of Naughty Dog, and that's that. Now, let's look at the gravity of the situation here. Another game gone. That's 10 studio games gone, 2 studio closures, etc., and we're still here twiddling our thumbs, waiting. But with the way things are going right now, and just how ridiculous the internet is and the fanboys, etc., it's crazy how the one company that they have dedicated their platforms to in terms of slandering nonstop, which is Xbox, it's funny how that company is about to bail Sony out in droves when they drop their games on PlayStation. If that is true, if the reports are going around is true and they start dropping, let's say, the Halos or whatnot, if Microsoft starts dropping those games on PlayStation and these games end up selling like juggernauts, I want you to hear me out here. If these games sell like juggernauts on PlayStation and outsell PlayStation-centric titles on PlayStation, you guys think I've been lethal now? Oh, just wait. I'm gonna have some choice words. Because for the longest time, we've been hearing that Xbox games are trash. They're not worthy of PlayStation gamers. We don't need that. We don't want that trash. Yeah, here you are actively and openly welcoming it to your platform, especially with Indiana Jones. If these games do sell extremely well, more so than the first-party games, especially one particular one that just won Game of the Year for last year, oh, we're going to have a long conversation because that is pathetic. And it just further proves the point that most of these PlayStation fanboys are all talk and no walk. Excuses, excuses, excuses. And the sad part is, none of you clowns are getting paid for it. And you clearly, as you can see by the games you're counting on your hands, you ain't got nothing to play or show for it for all your hard service of sitting on the internet, Twitter Spaces, damage controlling, and attacking everybody who's calling out basic problems. Like I said in my last video, and I'll say it here, you reap what you sow. I hope it's worth it. But speaking of that, to end this video, people saying that PS5 Pro is good. Big Cloud, you're just, I enjoyed it. I can see the difference. Something's wrong with you. You know what's funny about PS5 Pro, ladies and gentlemen, to those of you that bought it? In the midst of all this chaos, right? In the midst of these games getting canceled, in the midst of us having to possibly wait another 6 years, 5 to 6 years for the return of these games in terms of the single player side to launch officially, right? By the time we do get to see these games from these studios that have canceled their games, that's if those studios are still open, you know what I mean? But by the time we see those return to the single player format from those games, it's going to be PS6. And guess what people are talking about right now? People are already talking about PlayStation 6, as if you didn't just get a new PlayStation 5 console last year. The PS5 Pro ain't even a year old yet, and we're talking about a fucking PlayStation 6. Dudes are talking about specifications, what it's going to do. You know what's funny? At the end of my video, my last video, I made that joke. I was like, yo, yeah, it's going to outperform a 59, because, dumbasses that don't know shit about tech. I made that joke. I swear to God, if I see that price tag and it says $1,000, I am going to... Y'all thought my Joker laugh was crazy when I laughed at that damn PlayStation 5 Pro review? For those of you that need a refresher, here it is. Yeah, you thought that was bad. Let the PS6 be $1,000. Matter of fact, let the PS6 be $700. I'm going to laugh even harder. But anyway, that's pretty much it. This is a short video. What more can I say? What more can I say? Another game's closed. Dude's over here celebrating. What are you celebrating for? That's another game that's not in your that you will never play. That's another game that you don't have access to. That's another game you can check off your list that you'll never ever be able to claim that Sony gave you in 2025, especially, but just in the PS5 generation. You have more canceled games than you have new experiences from PlayStation. Crazy, ain't it? Insomniac Games can't carry this generation for this long. They can't do this. Insomniac Games can't be the only crutch you have. You need to have more studios in sync here. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. So we shall see how things go as the generation progresses. But let me tell you something. You know what would be a big slap in the face? Is if this generation ends in 2 years, guys. Oh man. Y'all think dudes are salty now? If this generation ends in 2 years, woo, that's all I gotta say. Ouch. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one, man. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe out here, all right? And I'll catch y'all around. Later. Peace.